One night, the Maryland Handgun Roster Board nicks 17 new pistols.
What's behind the spike in denials?
Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome to the Urban Defense Podcast, and in tonight's episode, we'll be talking about the Maryland Handgun Roster Board and those 17 denials. But first, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you like content like this and you're not subscribed, you're not going to get notification of new content, so make sure you take care of that. Let's get into it.
For our viewers, Duane, what is the Handgun Roster Board?
Well, that is a great question. It is a board made up of 11 members that are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. The makeup of the board, let me just look here, is the superintendent of the Maryland State Police or their designee, 2 police chiefs, 2 state's attorneys, 1 firearms dealer or gunsmith, 1 NRA or similar representative, 1 public health/violence prevention representative, 2 mechanical or ballistic engineers, 3 public members. And the terms are 4 years. A quorum is 6 members.
So, Duane, can you tell us what is this board and why does it exist?
So the board was established in 1988 by law, and its supposed purpose was to control the handguns that were sold in the state, making sure that they met certain criteria. Some people have heard of the term Saturday night specials, to try to prevent these, what they would consider very cheap and accessible handguns from proliferating out onto the streets.
Also a wonderful Leonard Skinner song about it.
Yes, indeed. And so the criteria that they are required by law to evaluate on each of these submissions are concealability, ballistic accuracy, weight, quality of materials, quality of manufacture, reliability as to safety, caliber, detectability by X-ray or airport scanners, and utility for sporting, self-defense, or law enforcement use.
So my question would be, so do they actually have like a designated facility that they all meet at and they run these guns or potential pistols to be sold in Maryland through the motions to test all of this stuff? Or do they just kind of sit around a table like we're doing and pass it around and go, what do you think? What do you think?
So to answer your question, Vinny, the state police will perform a test fire, author a report, and submit it to the board for review.
So where do they meet? Do we know?
State Police Headquarters in Pikesville. Getting back to this, okay, so let's bring it in here. So the purpose of this board is to prevent Saturday night specials from being on the streets in Maryland. If you want to purchase a handgun in Maryland, it has to be approved by the roster board. Otherwise, the transfer is illegal. Everyone with me so far? Now, in order to be approved by the roster board, you have to have a majority of the total membership approve the firearm. So there are 11 people on the board, so you need at least 6 yay votes. Yay or yes for all us normal people. If, and the problem that has been occurring, less than all 11 show up, and even if you, quote unquote, win the day at 5-4, that does not count as an approval because you do not have 6 yes votes. Even though if only 9 people show up and 2 people aren't there, and it's a 5-4, that is still a loss for the moving party, i.e. who wants the board to add the firearm to the roster.
So essentially you're saying this is potentially what could have caused these 17 nixes.
I know that is what happened. All of them were disapproved despite having 5 votes in favor and 4 against.
And just one more thing to backstep a little bit. A petition has to be brought to the board. So the board doesn't sit around the table and say, there's a new Glock out, let's evaluate it. It has to be brought to the board via petition. I've submitted 2 petitions in my lifetime. Both were approved. And I had to have the manufacturer of the firearm, which in this case was Michael's Machines, and had to have both of these firearms shipped by the maker to state police in this case, and along with one magazine each for each gun for evaluation. And they evaluate, and then they give their opinion or they give their ruling.
And let's talk about these 9 statutory criteria there to consider. This is what a big part of the problem is. There is no guiding language as to what they're supposed to be doing, i.e., let's talk about weight. Is the gun supposed to be really heavy, or is it supposed to be really light? Which way is it supposed to be going for them to approve it? Same thing with concealability. Should they only be approving handguns that are concealable or not concealable? Or one interpretation, are they concealability? Does that mean handguns that are clearly handguns versus prior to these waves of denials, the only other firearm that was ever denied for concealability was a credit card gun. And so things that are not obviously apparent that they are firearms, it was a credit card that you would unfold and turn into a gun. So in Maryland, you know, I see on the internet guns that are disguised as lighters, vapes, things like that. None of those are legal for sale or purchase here in Maryland. So is that what concealability means, or does it mean something else? I mean, some of these are self-explanatory. I would think quality of manufacture. But once again, reliability as to safety, you know, a lot of people could argue about that. Caliber. Once again, are they supposed to be approving things of common calibers, larger calibers, smaller calibers? What does it mean when they consider caliber?
Just for context, the handgun roster is really large. There's about 8,000 separate make and models in it, and it grows a little bit each time the board approves. So just some data I have here. March 5th, 2024, there were 22 approvals. June 4th, there were 18. September 24 through December of 24, there were 43. March 5th of 25, there were 12 approvals with 17 denials, the ones that we're talking about, 3 tabled. And June 4th, there were 25 approvals.
So I represented 4 of the firearms on their appeals to the entire board. Once again, only 9 members showed up, and all 4 of the appeals we quote unquote lost 5-4.
So walk us through that. So did the people that did the submission or the manufacturers, they contacted you and asked for representation to assist with the appeals?
Yes.
And how did that flow?
I thought we had an excellent case. These were extremely well-machined, precise, expensive firearms. Their MSRP was about $3,500 a piece, roughly. These were incredibly safe, incredibly well-constructed. You know, once again, when we're looking at the factors here, quality of materials, quality of manufacture, the best, caliber. Several of these firearms were different, and this is where chaos can ensue. These were different calibers of firearms that were already approved on the roster. So if you had a Glock, you know, everyone's heard of a Glock that was chambered in 40, and then you went to the board and said, oh, I would like this Glock that's chambered in 9 to be added to the roster. They said, whoa, hold up. We're not going to allow that. And we do not feel we are bound by the precedent of prior approvals.
So did they actually send you each one of these weapons for you to examine, counselor?
I wish they had. They did not.
So you just had to take their word that it was well built.
I had letters from the manufacturer. We had all of the schematics and specs of it. And the particular manufacturer that I was assisting with this, they have an impeccable reputation for the quality of firearm they manufacture.
All right, so 4 guns remain on appeal, and you are representing all 4.
Yes, we are appealing. We've just filed a review of the Handgun Roster Board's action in the Circuit Court for Baltimore County, and we look forward to having our day in court.
And so those guns that are, in fact, that you are handling, we have the B&T APC 45K Pro, the H&R DOE pistol, the B&T SPC 9 SD. I'm guessing TELE would be for like telescopic stock, perhaps, and B&T SPC 9 SDG. And so, where are you at on this, and what do you expect? Like, how do you expect this to move forward?
So the Handgun Roster Board, they denied it originally, and we filed the appeal to the roster board. They had another hearing, as I said, and denied it 5-4. So now we are having a judge from the Circuit Court of Baltimore County. They will review our petition. We will argue the law is being improperly applied and ask that a remand to the board with a direction that they are to approve it occur.
So both times that it was heard, there was not enough people. The whole group wasn't there.
Correct.
So because of that, you had some people that just didn't like those particular guns, and there wasn't enough people on the board that could have voted yes.
There are several board members who consistently vote against every submitted firearm. And for a variety of reasons, they interpret the statutory factors that they are to consider differently than I would. And I will say there is some ambiguity to the statutory factors, and this is why we need a court to come in and review this and determine what is appropriate.
Well, so if you have a member on the board or members on the board that consistently vote no in a board where they're supposed to be objectively evaluating these factors, that's like a de facto ban on guns, on handguns.
On new guns being added to the roster, yes, several people are extremely concerned about that.
Sounds like they're biased.
When you look at the makeup of the board, it is by design to have several very biased people from all makeups on there.
Would that be the 4 public members?
No. Well, you have a member of a gun violence prevention group.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, that's fair.
and they would point out you also have a member from the NRA on there too.
So it's AGOB. All guns are bad.
Several people on the board feel that way. Yes.
Is this something that happens regularly? I was looking through when I was preparing for today's show, and I wasn't seeing denials like this.
In my research, there has never been a case decided by a Maryland appellate court on the board's decision. So this is going to be a case of first impression here in Maryland.
Well, I don't necessarily mean the case that you're litigating. I'm talking about these denials. Like, is it common for them to deny like this in this number?
It has never happened before.
Interesting.
As I was saying, traditionally the denials had been for novelty firearms, firearms that are incredibly unsafe generally, mainly to both the user and
the recipient.
Yes. For example, they have denied firearms in the past, pistols that do not have trigger guards. That was a big thing. But for these types of firearms to be denied in the state of Maryland, it's unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this list and just basic knowledge. I mean, all of these are over $1,000.
More than that.
Yeah.
So the requirements for the 11 board members, has that ever changed, or that's always been like since 1988 or 1998? No,
88.
Yeah.
88. Yeah. No, I mean, I
Before
think
you were born.
I think that the
only
law,
by a year.
I believe the law specifies those particular titles as we enumerated: the state police or a superintendent or designee, chiefs of police, members of the public, members of, like, for instance, the NRA, a gun advocacy group, and what they say,
2 engineers,
yeah,
and then 4 public members, and a representative of the State's Attorneys Association, and 2 other representatives of chiefs of police.
but again, appointed by the governor and approved by the Senate.
Yes. And so what's happened, persons appointed by Governor Hogan have all rolled off now, or are rolling off, and they're being replaced by people who feel differently about the Second Amendment.
All right, so implications for Maryland buyers of handguns. Dealers can only stock guns that are, in fact, on the roster, and they cannot sell to anyone a handgun that is not on the roster. And if you're a buyer, and I hear horror stories about this, people order guns from out of state, have them brought in to a dealer, and the dealer doesn't know anything about it, and this gun arrives, and the person says, I paid for it, I want to transfer it, and they go, I can't sell it to you. And if it's one of those things, all sales are final, then they're stuck paying for a gun that then the dealer has to sell out of state or wait until it gets approved in Maryland. So you got to make sure as a buyer that any handgun that you're buying, or any gun for that matter, is not unlawful to transfer in this state.
In a lot of states, on a lot of forums online, you're going to see everyone posting, this is the latest, greatest, coolest gun coming out from whatever manufacturer, high-end manufacturers, Nighthawk, etc. And you need to be prepared that we can't have them here in Maryland.
Nighthawk.
Double check me on that, Jimmy. That's the
Producer Jimmy. See if there's a Nighthawk.
That's the 1911 I just bought that was 5 Gs. Nighthawk firearms.
So if you buy one of these guns in a different state where they
Yeah,
are
Nighthawk
approved, do you
custom.
have to
Yeah,
get rid
that's-
of it, like sell it or something?
Yeah, they can't transfer it to you in Maryland, so you would have to. They'd have to sell it out of state.
That's the
Oh, there we go.
yeah.
Buy the gold one.
I did not. I should have.
Gold plated.
They're 1911.
That thing looks bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I would never carry that. I would literally never carry that. That is the gaudiest gun.
That's
Once you get your fronts put in, is that what you're going to buy?
yeah.
Jevony,
Once again,
get
there
one
will
of
be
those.
some-
Get one of those in pink.
Oh my
All right.
God.
And by the way, everyone that's watching or listening, if you're listening, it doesn't matter. But if you're watching, we're not putting stuff on the screen on purpose because YouTube does not like when we put gun manufacturer websites on there. They demonetize that video. So if you've had that problem as a content creator, please comment below and let us know, because I plan on doing a whole video just on that. But just take my word for it. These are very, very gaudy.
pull up, go to
stop.
firearms, pull up the Nighthawk Commander.
Oh, the Commander.
1911.
Oh, the 1911.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew, are you aware that the British Brown Bess short land model was the longest serving military martial arm ever and won many, many world wars?
This close to July 4th, Duane, I don't want to be hearing about anything from England.
Which one did you get, Andrew? Did you get the double agent? The Bob Marvel? The border special? The border special. What the hell?
Oh, that's fantastic there. Look at that.
Or no, I guarantee you Andrew got the Bull Commander.
How did you guess? How did you?
Oh, no internet. What's going on here?
Oh, come on. What's happening now? I made that comment about YouTube, and they've taken the internet down.
That's all. Yeah.
They have taken us down.
I was
people.
almost going to say they don't tolerate the slander of YouTube either.
Guys, this may be the last time you see all of us alive.
Yeah, yep. I think I just seen Hillary Clinton pull up.
She did.
I did not kill myself.
That's right.
I did not shoot myself in the head twice.
I'm curious if this is operator error on the part of producer Jimmy here.
No, it did.
Come on now, troubleshoot.
Producer
Blasphemy.
Jimmy was looking at dirty pictures.
Ugh,
You don't want to go in that production.
you got
booth.
us, YouTube. You got us this time.
Duane did not pay the Comcast bill because his last YouTube video got demonetized.
I don't use Comcast. I use the Internet Service of America Samoa. All right. Well, internet is down, but we're still here for now.
Says connecting.
Yeah, I'm not optimistic.
I'm not holding my breath.
Oh, my God. they
Had all
got us.
those beautiful pieces of handcrafted machinery on the screen.
You know what
and
they
it broke
do? You know what they do? They probably killed the internet before they knocked the door down.
it.
Here in the bunker, we're going to hear in a moment, we're going to hear that door crash open.
Are the
We're all
cameras
getting
still
swatted.
working?
Yeah.
Producer Jimmy, make sure that there's no black helicopters or vans out front.
Black
Yeah.
Escalades.
Yes.
I want you to walk outside the front door, Producer Jimmy, and let's see what happens next.
Walk outside the front door and say, "I've got a gun."
Wait, I just heard them. They said, "Come out with your pants off, Jimmy."
I thought it was pants up.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be surprised how many people come to the door naked. It's a large number.
Well, they were probably already naked.
Well, I mean, at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
just got
that
home
would
from
be
the bar.
Vinny. He'd be naked.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
That's right.
I'd be
Surprised you're wearing clothes now.
I'd be naked with a pistol in my hand.
All right, we're back up. We've got the Cobra Commander.
So
All
these are all beautiful, we agree.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
the beauty is in the eyes of the holder.
We're going to get
in this
matching
case.
sets is what I'm hearing.
Yes. But so the point is that people have to be certain that what they're trying to buy in Maryland is allowed in Maryland, or they're not going to be able to transfer it. And so perfect example, when the Glock 43 came out, everybody wanted them for concealed carry. A lot of people wanted them for concealed carry, wanted them for off-duty use, and a lot of us bought them as they were coming in because we knew that it was already on the list to be evaluated, and we already had good reason to believe that they were going to be approved. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting for guns that we had already paid for. Eventually, they were approved, and we got them. But
It takes months.
yeah, I mean, it did take months. And at the end of the day, if for some reason something like a non-quorum or something happened and it was delayed, or people that typically vote yes or would potentially vote yes weren't present, then you're out of luck until something happens and you appeal.
So if you are a serious proponent of a firearm and you have applied to the board and it has been denied, call me.
Yeah, it's a form that you can find fairly readily online. Fill it out, make arrangements with the manufacturer or whomever to have the gun sent to the state police. It wasn't a terribly difficult process. It just required some paperwork. But yeah, that's what you have to do.
And once again, this is, by the people in power, a feature, not a bug. This is how they're going to attempt to erode our Second Amendment rights, by fighting on the edges after Bruin and doing all they can to inconvenience lawful firearm owners.
All right. So Andrew, in case it wasn't mentioned before, one, can people attend these? And the other thing is, how often do they meet again?
All of the meetings, if you go on their website, they are publicized. They are open to the public. Please come by and watch, see what's going on, see where your tax dollars are being spent.
Well, Andrew, we certainly wish you the best in fighting the good fight, and we will look forward to doing an update on this video with the big win.
I do hope, God willing.
So for the Urban Defense Podcast, remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. If you have done an appeal or had to do an appeal on a handgun, if you've submitted one of these handguns, if you've attended one of these meetings, comment below. Let us know what your experiences were. Let us know how it went. We're very interested. And remember, knowledge is mental ammunition. Train, fight, and win.